I think the appropriate reaction to first playing Fear and Hunger is fuck this game.
Wolf, have you ever crafted or used the pinecone pig?
Never. In 1 or 2. Never used it.
No!
Did you find it was difficult to distill Fear and Hunger, the whole, all your playthroughs down into like how long was your video? Like 20 minutes?
50 minutes?
50 minutes? Oh, sorry. Completely different number.
Yeah, it's okay. It would be worse if you were like, that video was like 3 hours or something, wasn't it? It's 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's thinking it's 20 minutes, it meant that he was so in a rapture that he totally lost sense of the progression of time.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the compliment I took from it.
But are you going to do a video on Termina?
I have
one
to.
point.
It was a stretch goal in my charity stream.
Oh, good. You're forced to.
Oh,
Excellent.
Are you gonna use my censoring?
I hadn't thought about it, but probably if that's cool with you.
Yeah, of course, you're allowed.
Yeah.
No,
awesome.
Raccoon, you have to charge him royalties for it, you fool!
I have to charge him
Yes, think
Yeah.
of the royalties you can make.
like
Okay,
$5.
I'm probably gonna. Oh, 5. Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what YouTube pays me. Nothing.
I felt like I had figured out the best way to beat the guards, and I was like, I wonder, is there a better way to do this? And then I watched your video, and I was like, you can avoid coin flip attacks by guards.
I went through a
See,
lot
that's why
of,
you gotta play Termina first. The Termina tells you that at the
Yeah.
start of the game.
Yep.
Straight up.
I went through like a
Tells you
lot
that
of
in
better reviews
one,
of
you
the
just
game,
gotta listen to him.
and the
Does it
majority of
actually
better
tell you that
reviews,
in 1?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
Sir
says
Seymour.
if you ever get a bad feeling, guard, it'll save your life.
When I made the original video, like, I made the point that, like, barely anyone's fucking playing this. Like, this game is virtually unknown. A couple of months later, I was selling at a con at an artist alley, and someone came up to the artist that I was selling next to and commissioned them for a Fear and Hunger commission. And I, like, did a double take. I was like, what?
I watched this game called Fear Hunger 1 2 years ago, and I didn't like it. I hated it because it had stuff that I was like, you know what, this shouldn't be in the game, and I hated it. I hated that so much, so I ignored the game and I pushed it away.
Well,
2 years later,
I think the appropriate reaction to first playing Fear and Hunger is fuck this game.
You know what? I need to do another discussion. Wolf,
No.
do you like pocket?
No, hang on.
No. No. Please, no.
This ain't my first podcast, Frapollo, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
What were you playing beforehand?
All right. I played a game. Okay.
Yeah, well, I think that's a really interesting point as well, because I think one of the reasons that Fear and Hunger took so long to blow up was because you do feel like it's broken when you play it first, because it
Yeah.
is so unfair. The first time I made it to the ancient city, and like just learning the scope of that place and realizing that I wasn't even close to done, and it was a real like, what the fuck is this game? Like,
Yeah.
this is something completely beyond anything I thought it was, and it was great.
In
Hit
your
me.
video, you mentioned how eyeglasses are able to make you hit heads better.
Okay, I saw your video on eyeglasses like 4 days after the video went up, and I was like, fucking goddamn it. I think I have over 101, and I'd say maybe 20 or 30 in 2. The first time I played 2 was like part of like a giant charity stream. A 16-hour session is an incredibly strange way to experience Fear and Hunger 2 for the first time.
it is. It's really.
You know, I
difficult.
think when you play for the first time of Fear and Hunger, you just want some time to relax after starting playing. Like, you want like an hour to like sleep, think about what happened. Like 16 hours in a row is a little bit tough.
It was, especially when I had like a punishment wheel, and at one point, one of the punishments was erase your save file, and so I had to start.
Nice.
And I think I got that at hour 12.
Oh, no.
Finding like a really weird topic and being like, can I make this work as a video essay? If you're not having a good time making it, what are you doing?
You still made a Fear and Hunger video, even though you only make videos when you're having a good time?
I'm also kind of a masochist, so that should answer that question.
And now it's time for the most important questions of them all. Do you like Pocket Cat?
Here we go.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay. So here's what it is, right? I don't
Yeah.
approve of Pocket Cat's life decisions. Those games are infinitely more interesting with him in it. The first Moonscorched I ever fought was Pocket Cat.
Oh, really?
I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know it was a Moonscorched thing. It was just like, and now Pocket Cat is here?
Pocket Cat's the kind of guy that you really want to go to the bar with and like have a great time with him, and then afterwards you want to turn one of those beer bottles into a shiv and let him have it.
He kind of reminds me of like Bugs Bunny a little bit. I always think Bugs Bunny would be like really fun to like party with, but there'd probably be a point in the night where like he'd do too much cocaine and it would get really fucked up. Pocket Cat's like that.
So which video did you suffer the most while making? Was it Fear and Hunger, or was it one of your other videos?
Oh, and Fear and Hunger was kind of a joy, honestly, to make. Like it was fun, and like I got to make a bunch of dumb jokes with it, and I got to put in the little storyline where like my wife leaves me.
Yeah.
How about the censoring? How did the censoring go? Curious.
Okay, the censoring was miserable. The censoring was like I'm not joking here. 2 straight days of blurring out dicks, and then like, and then I think it was like in the week of the video's release, someone's like, "Hey, it was the first person to do a Fear and Hunger mod." I think it was the first, but anyway, a censor patch came out like the week of the video's release, and I was like. I mean, how long do you think we're waiting for the next Fear and Hunger game? Probably.
We've been waiting a long time
right?
for the next patch. The patch has been like 8 months.
I will wait. Yeah.
4.5 years.
9, 11, I would say, even, I think.
So
No,
we
the
should all-
first release of Fear and Hunger 1 was 2018. Then Termina dropped right around December 22.
Yeah.
No.
So
when
we're
we got
looking
the
at about
run
4
update.
years between games.
I can't
There is,
wait to be back on this podcast in 2027.
Yeah.
There is a
We'll schedule it in
promo,
now.
like-
Yeah.
It's called the Gull Bros. It's 2 gulls. It's that type
Basically,
of bird.
Crow Mauler, but seagull instead of crow.
And
Also 2.
and there's 2 of them. Yeah.
Okay. I saw a picture of this enemy and I thought it was a meme.
No, the meme is when Goku shows up.
That is it.
Oh, yeah, that
Okay,
makes sense.
you know, this
Yeah,
is
we got
this is
Goku.
good
Actually-
because I wanted to do a t-shirt for my streams. On streams I sometimes go by the Final Gamer, and I wanted to have like a bunch of legally distinct characters for my streams on the t-shirt, and I was going to do the Pigeon Mauler. Glad that you guys showed me this.
Kind
And
of
helped me sidestep
beat to the
some
punch, huh?
potentially legal issues there.
Good, good, good.
Oh, Eyepatch, when is the Homestuck video coming out, by the way?
You know, every year I'm like, should I read Homestuck? And then
Yeah,
I'm
you
always
should.
like, part of me is actually like, I have no experience with Homestuck at all. You know, all I know is like that a lot of the Undertale fans came from the original Undertale fandom came from like the Homestuck fandom, and I have seen a lot of cool fan art which I love. Part of me thinks that like getting into Homestuck in like 2023 would be an absolutely insane thing to do,
Yeah.
and that kind of makes me want to do it. But then there's another part of me, it's like, well, what if I just like get into it and I don't like it?
Alright, also we sent Goku in the chat.
So wait, was
Okay.
this in Fear and Hunger?
This was in the
This was-
fandom. This was in the fandom wiki. Once there was a little attack to the wiki, in which
Yeah,
all the
there was
images
an
were,
attack.
were changed. At one point,
No,
even
this was before that. This
Yeah.
has been up there for
No,
like
no.
This
a
was, it
year
was,
at this point.
yeah. This was
What?
on there for ages, yeah.
No
So,
idea.
so there's been 2 wikis for a while now. One of them's really good. One of them's actually excellent. But the other one was just an absolute nightmare of misinformation for the longest. I think it still is. It's just wrong.
Oh
everywhere.
god, it's
It
so
is.
bad.
And it was attacked at one point, and then people started changing everything on it, and it got pretty bad pretty quick.
Oh no.
Oh, so, Wolf, you were in the wiki as well. I think you were on the done page.
Okay, yeah. Someone told about this. What was that about?
Basically, you were done, and I was stalking you, and I was pocket cat, I think.
Oh, that's fucking great. That's so good.
There is a video on Mouth channel where he goes through some of the changes. I think there is even this one of you, Wolf.
What's the name of the guy who makes this again?
Miro.
Miro.
Well, happy
Like, that
paintings?
dude's a fucking genius. Like,
Oh,
good God.
Yeah, he comes across as a goofy dude on Twitter, but when you play the games, it's like, did one person really make this?
And does he do all the art?
Yes.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think
that
it's
is-
like 1%
that
of the. I think he has some designs from like other people have given him designs, but I think he does all the art. Most of the music, there's like 3 or 4 tracks that he didn't do. All the coding except like plugins that he's used.
God,
So-
I hope that dude's okay. I hope he like gets enough rest and like is doing all right, because that is a inhuman amount of work.
Yeah, it is. It makes like it's easy to understand why an update takes 8 months when he's got to do all this crazy stuff, right? This is
Of
so.
course, yeah.
Who's your favorite contestant so far, Eyepatch?
I also
Okay.
think Livia just looks like really sick, like rolling along with like a gun. Like she just looks so fucking cool.
Mhm.
She loves guns too.
One of the moments that really stood out to me in Termina, where like it's like we were talking about those crazy moments in Fear and Hunger 1 from earlier, but one of them in Termina that really made me feel like that was discovering that there are doppelgangers.
Ooh, yeah, that's a cool part, honestly. Also because I think, if I'm not mistaken, we still don't currently know what are
No, we
doppelgangers.
don't. We don't actually
Like,
have any lore about doppelgangers
Yeah, we
like
don't.
whatsoever.
The way I
Told you guys
figured
about
it.
that like 4 times. What the heck?
Jones
The-
explained it. Can you say
Yeah,
that?
this was a comment from Miro in the Discord that's been lost to time. But no, doppelgangers showed up because he had a lot of issues handling all the different combinations of events that could occur based on who's selected and what flags are set. So he solved one of them by just like, okay, yeah, if X, Y, and Z happens, instead of being a copy of the character, it's a doppelganger. And then it had to
That's
just roll with it.
brilliant. I love that is such a cool tech. Like, actually, I saw him tweet something a while ago, being like, "I can't make this mirror reflect properly. Could someone come up with a lore reason?" for
Yeah.
this?" And it's like,
Oh,
hell yeah,
yeah.
dude, fucking do it. But
Oh yeah, and he's
I just remember the first time I discovered the doppelgangers. I met Olivia in the bookshop. Then I went and recruited her at the church, and then like it was like right at the end of like a 3-hour stream, we came back to the bookshop and she was there, and everyone was like, "Oh, game's bugged, you know." And I was like, "That's
Nope.
so fucking weird."
Nope.
And then we talked to her, and they accounted for it.
Yeah.
I was blown away. It was so good.
That's
I
not
had like 200 hours in the game when I started Masso mode, right? And I struggled more playing Masso mode than I did the very first time I played Termina.
You know, I think I already said this during those streams, but my first Mazo mod run was the Olivia Mazo mod no wheelchair. So like, and I was able to do it. So that I think that proves that Mazo mode is not that difficult once you are able to put your mindset into it.
It's like saying, oh, you know,
What I
you-
would
you
say,
can-
what I would say though, Frapollo, is you calling Masso mode not difficult is a little different than maybe anyone else on the planet calling it not difficult. You know what I mean?
I mean, no, let's also say that I know less about Termina than I know about Fear and Hunger 1. I have like over 1,100 hours in Fear and Hunger 1. I have a little bit over 200 in Termina, and 200
I kind of
after.
feel like I know it doesn't sound like it. I think you just proved my point.
I did.
It's easy when you've got
Why?
200 hours. It's easy. Don't worry about it.
I would love to do like a summon stall style video on Fear and Hunger
Oh,
speed.
Oh, it would be
I can
insane.
help you out.
There's literally a category that was added because Bones broke the game so much.
Yes, yes, exactly.
I don't know. I spoke to Connor after your stream with him, Frapollo, and
Yeah.
he was like, "Fuck that game, dude."
Like, think about it as if it wasn't you, it could have been someone else that could have completely ruined this community for us. And I think we gotta thank you for bringing people that believe in us now. Thanks to you.
Well,
Yeah.
that's really incredibly sweet. I can also promise you there are definitely people who think I ruined the Fear and Hunger community.
You know,
Don't worry.
actually,
Don't
it's
worry,
not
you
quite
get him.
ruined
We'll
yet.
get him.
Just wait a little longer. From what I understand, the HoloLive girls recently got permissions to stream Fear and Hunger.
Well, folks, good luck.
Oh no!
It can only get worse, boys. Don't worry. We'll get there. We'll make it worse. Had to get you back on for Fear and Hunger 3 in 4 years.
Absolutely.
No way.
2027, guys, we're going to do it.
Let's go.